Hi, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Nolan Richardson, and I'm a high performance coach. I work with middle school and high school athletes on how to train their mind as they do their body. Because Hall of Fame coach Nolan Richardson and I do take this pandemic very seriously, we will be sitting 6 feet apart as well as wearing a mask. With no further ado, let's begin.
I have a question for you, Coach. As a coach, I feel like there could be coaches out there who may have teams that aren't as talented as some of the other teams they go up against every year. Personally, I feel like there can be an opportunity for them not to coach as hard because they see that winning games, they don't see them winning very many games. Do you feel there's a difference when you have a team that could win, or you have a talented team that gives you the opportunity to win versus those where you don't have zero talent?
You can answer that in a couple of ways, but if I were to answer the question, I would say that if I didn't have talent, which there was times when I started off, we didn't have the talent to compete on the high school level in the beginning. But because of because of how hard I worked at it, eventually it got better. Each year it got a little bit better. And I think it's so important that you go through. There's a saying that bad times don't last forever.
Right.
And if you go by that theory, that means that there are going to hopefully be some kids that come through that school, because you only dealt the cards that you're dealt. You only got the players that are at that school, and eventually some that were in the 5th and 6th and 7th grade becomes 9th and 10th and 11th graders, and you're hanging in there, or you're working extremely hard. The most important thing is never to give up. You might give out, but you can't give up because you chose that profession. I chose coaching. Coaching didn't choose me.
Right.
And so I think it's important that each individual, as a coach, should have that in mind. I chose this profession, and I got to give it my best shot. And if I do that, I used to have what we call a coach's prayer. The coach's prayer to me was to the good man upstairs. Let me do the best job I can do today. That's all I ask. If I can just do the best job today. And then I become a today coach. Today is my most important day. Today is my most important practice. Today I will speak to you better than I've ever spoken to you before. Everything becomes today. Then when you become a today coach, you don't have time to worry about, well, we're not going to be good. We don't have time. You're working on things that will make you a better coach today.
That's good. That's good. Because I know. So let me follow up with this question. Let's say you don't have a good team. What do you do? Or what did you do when you didn't have the talent? What was your I know you said you were going to be the best you could be today.
Mm-hmm.
But how did that look like? Like what was your process of working with players that weren't as talented as the other teams?
Garrett, there's a guy that was a football coach, was named Vince Lombardi. Vince was tremendous football coach. And of course I played a little football. And he had a saying: fatigue will make cowards of us all.
Mm-hmm.
Fatigue. If I get tired, then I become a coward. And if I become a coward, I can't win.
Right.
So you can become fatigued as a coach. So you got to work on not becoming fatigued.
Right.
Then you pass that on to your players. That's where 40 minutes of hell comes in. Every player had to work twice as hard.
Right.
Now I don't have time to feel sorry for me not having the kind of players, but to put on their brain and in their minds is that nobody outworks us. Nobody. They might beat us, but they can't outwork us. No one can outwork me as a coach. No one. That's how I felt. I felt that there were people who had more degrees than a thermometer, smarter than I've ever thought I would be. But I knew one thing they didn't have that I had, was they couldn't outwork me.
Right.
And that's the important thing that a coach has to remember.
That's good.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, leave us a comment. Basically, show us some love. And if you have a question for Coach Richardson or I, leave it in the comment box. You never know. It might be the question I ask in our next episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you the next go around with Conversations with Grandpa.